Namaste and a very good evening. At the outset of this video, let me tell you, I am not a doctor, I am not a physiotherapist, nor I am a physical therapist, nor I am a gym trainer. I am a physical educationist. And today what we are going to talk about is the shoulder joint. And this shoulder joint is purely based on my personal experiences and talking to the experts in sports medicine, doctors in sports medicine, and the my brother, my cousin, who is again doctor in physiotherapy, and physical therapists, fitness trainers, my colleagues in physical education. So discussing all of these professional people, and based on my personal experience, I'm going to talk something about the shoulder joint. Now, we all know that shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint and it is very unstable. There are a lot of movements around the shoulder joint and there are so many injuries, especially subluxation, luxation, dislocation, partial dislocation. And generally, what happens is when we do certain movements which are little awkward, for which our shoulder is not capable of taking the strength, what happens is the head of the humerus comes out of glenoid cavity. So broadly speaking, there is a glenoid cavity, there is a head of humerus, there is a labrum around where this glenoid cavity and head of the humerus make a joint, and there are muscles going around, there is capsule which makes it. But despite of all these support, ligaments, various ligaments which especially connect bone to bone, they are so very important for the stability of the joint. But despite of all this stability, the joint is very unstable because of the movements it has around it. Shallow glenoid cavity and the movements which, let us first talk about the movements. What movements we have around shoulder joint? We have flexion, we have extension, we have abduction, we have adduction, or we have medial rotation, lateral rotation, or you can also say, you can give this way, the movement around shoulder joint, medial and lateral rotation, okay, medial and lateral rotation. So the movement is actually around shoulder joint, it's happening around the shoulder joint. Now this is what, now take for example, I have a case, I got it today on my mobile, in which there is a dislocation of a shoulder joint which happened 6 months ago. So already doctor has taken care of it, treatment has been given, but now what movements can he perform? Now, based on my personal experience, let me tell you, any movement that goes this way, which there is automatically the head of the humerus, it tends to come anteriorly towards in front. So if you do a vigorous movement this, or take for example, you are taking a book out of a shelf which is little heavy, or you are driving a car and you do a movement wherein you go back to catch hold of your purse or your bag, which is little heavy, the head of the humerus is coming anteriorly out and you can dislocate unless and until you have strength in it. So now, what are the exercises that we can do to strengthen our shoulders so that we don't dislocate it, and what are the movements we should be avoiding? Awkward movement of taking a book off a shelf, awkward movement of taking the bag from the back seat, or any other awkward physical movement while playing. Now in this case, the case which I received was a badminton player, and we had so many players in basketball, those who dislocated their shoulder while playing game. Now as soon as he is injured, as soon as the athlete is injured, the first thing what you do is give him a first aid, him or her. There shouldn't be movement around the shoulder joint if you are capable of reducing it yourself. Mind you, don't try it out unless and until you are qualified for it. So once you reduce it and immobilize it, take him to the doctor takes care, whatever diagnosis is done, then physiotherapist doctor in physiotherapy would give him treatment for the shoulder joint at the initial stages. Now once he's recovered completely and he comes to us talking about what all strength exercises he should be doing. So we have already talked about various movements around the joint. The same thing he should be doing. Now, one of the first beginning exercise or movements that he can do is, he can use his hand as a pendulum. So right in the beginning, he can just hang his hand and swing like a pendulum, sidewards, flexion, extension, flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, and similarly with the other hand. So what we are keeping in mind is the strength of shoulders should be good. Then I have already spoken that an exercise is a whole day process. So it's not that early in the morning he does for half an hour and yeah, he's okay. He can do it in daytime also. What athlete can do, or an normal sedentary worker who has recovered from a shoulder injury, can go for simple movement of abduction, adduction. You can do both hands together, but try the movement rhythm should be slow. Should be slow. The same thing he can do in front. A slow movement. Can also catch hold of a stick with both the hands. And a very slow movement, up, down, up, down. Okay, then the movement front, side, front, side. Then further what he can do is, he can stand near a wall and push the wall on the side, this way, just pushing the wall. Well, this is a bench press stand, but you can use it to push the wall. Push the wall and hold it, a static push. Okay? The other side. You can also slowly rotate your shoulders gradually as you regain strength. Then you can, what you can do is, you can go for a military press with a barbell or any weight that you have in. Initially you can go with simple stick, and you can do with the barbells or any weight. If you have brick in your house, or some similar type of weights, that you can do a kind of military press. And the same brick you can take on the sides. Front, rotation. So whole day when you are moving from one place to another, you can go for rotation of shoulder joint, this way, the other way, pushing the wall. And the movements which you should avoid, this is my suggestion, is any awkward movement of suddenly taking a book or any other object from the back, taking any object from the rear seat of the car, or any such movement should be avoided. I mean, it's better to turn around and lift it. It's better to turn around and take it instead of doing an awkward movement. So number one, avoid any awkward movement. Strengthen your muscles around your shoulder joint, and you can do it the whole day. Thank you.